So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my 4-week update using the Kenzzi at-home IPL handset. So if you're interested in seeing what my results have been after using this 4 times, then just keep watching. So first of all, I'm gonna tell you guys all the areas that I've been using this device in, and then I'm gonna tell you what my results have been so far. And then also at the end, I am gonna share with you guys a couple of tips that I picked up along the way in case you are thinking about getting this device in the future. You can kind of reference this video and learn from my mistakes. So first of all the areas that I have treated, I've done my underarms, my regular arms, my bikini line, my legs, and I think that's it. Yeah, so basically I'm gonna start with my legs because that's where I'm noticing the most dramatic result. So I do have a few pictures, and okay, dramatic is a little dramatic. It's not like crazy results so far, but I'm seeing results. I saw results after the first use, which I kind of said in my first video, which by the way, if you do wanna see my first impressions on this, I will link that down below and you can watch that whole video. But yeah, after my first use on my legs, literally all of my hair was already growing back in patches. Specifically on my shin, I was really noticing it because my hair is a lot thicker on my shins than it is on my thighs. So I was noticing little bald spots where my hair was not growing in as much anymore, and it was kind of blowing my mind. I'm gonna insert a few pictures. I really hope you guys can tell, but these pictures are actually from my 3rd week. So I had used the device 3 times just because it was easier to get it on camera. I do think I snapped a few pictures after my first use and the results that I was seeing, but it wasn't really showing up on camera. So just take my word for it. But I was seeing results after the first use. But yeah, these pictures are after using this 3 times, so you do use it once a week. In my first video, I had mentioned that I was gonna try and use it on level 5 for every single area, but then later in the video, I had mentioned that it was a little bit more painful, so I kind of weaned out on using it on level 5. So on my shins, though, I was using it on level 5. So I do think that that is why I'm having the best results on my shins, because I'm using it on the highest setting possible. So the next place I'm noticing a little bit of results is around my bikini line. Not as dramatic as on my shins, but I am noticing some, which is really exciting. At first on my bikini line, I was a little bit scared to use a higher setting, and I was sticking to a 2 or a 3 just because obviously that tends to be a more sensitive area, and I was just really scared. As I mentioned before, I have had actual laser hair removal treatments done in a salon, and it was very, very painful, and I think I'm traumatized from it because now I'm terrified every single time I use this, which by the way, it's not painful. If you didn't see my first video, it's really, really not painful. Just every once in a while, it'll give you a little zap and it's a little shocking, but it's not bad at all, especially compared to laser hair removal. Oh my gosh, this is nothing compared to that. So I was using a level 3 or a level 2 on my bikini line, but I actually am so over that area not having the results that I want that I bumped it up to a level 5 or a level 4, and I just suffer through it. It's definitely a little bit more painful. I can tolerate a 5 on my shins and it doesn't hurt at all. Around my bikini area, it does hurt a little bit more, but it's still not bad, I promise you. So I am going for a level 5 or a level 4 now because I just want to speed up the process. I'm so ready to have results there. But yeah, after 4 sessions, I am noticing again just some patchiness, the hair not growing back solidly. Normally it would all be growing in at the same time, and it's not doing that anymore. I'm kind of having some patches where it's not growing back in. But I will say one thing on my legs, when I run my hand over my leg once I have had the hair grow back, it still feels like all of the hair is there, but I just can't see it. So I feel the hair's still growing in even in the patchy parts, but it's just a lot thinner, and so I can't actually see it, but I can still feel it a little bit, if that makes sense. The next area is my arms. I'm not really noticing much of anything on my arms. It's hard to tell though, because my arms, honestly, the hair on there isn't that thick anyways, and I never really paid attention to it that much because I don't really mind the hair on my arms. I've been shaving that forever and I don't really care. So I haven't really noticed that dramatic of results, but again, I just haven't haven't been like monitoring it. I'm mainly excited for my legs, armpits, and bikini line. So the next area is my armpits. On my armpits, I've really seen like the least results. I've seen, I think, a little bit of results, but I'm not sure if I'm just like wanting to see it. So I'm like noticing every little inconsistency in the hair pattern, but I do feel like I'm noticing a little bit of slower hair growth, at least. Like some parts will be a little bit longer and some pieces will be a little bit shorter. So maybe that is because of this. I'm hopeful, but I have watched other people's reviews and they do tend to see results on their legs before any other area, especially their armpits. But I am seeing like a tiny bit of results on my armpits, I think. But my legs are definitely like the most dramatic change so far. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say as far as my results so far. I'm very pleased considering that was only after 4 weeks and I do still have 8 more to go because it's a 12-week total thing before you're expected to have like full results. So yeah, I'm not even halfway there and I'm already seeing some. So that makes me very excited. I'm obviously going to continue to use this and continue to update you guys. My plan is to update you in another 4 weeks. But now I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a few tips that I've kind of learned along the way. So in my first video, I'd mentioned that I felt like it was burning a little bit more when I would go over moles, and that actually was not in my head. That was true, and it was actually in the little pamphlet that they gave me, and it said to be careful around darker moles or freckles because it can burn a little bit more, or maybe it even said to avoid them, I'm not sure. So if you do have a lot of freckles, I would be cautious. Another thing I wanted to mention is that while the booklet does say that this is fine for pretty deep skin tones, I would be cautious, and if you have a deeper skin tone than I do, I know this lighting is a little bit deceptive, but my skin is very, very fair. I am like lighter than most light shades of foundations. Like I really struggle to find a foundation shade light enough for me, if that kind of tells you how fair my skin is. I am a really good candidate for this because the way that this works is it targets the pigment in your hair. So if your skin is fair and your hair is dark, it has no trouble kind of finding the hair pigment and zapping just the hair follicle. However, if you have deeper skin, then it kind of will like burn everything a little bit more. So for example, I watched this one girl's video and I believe she said she was Mexican and she had a medium skin tone, and she said level 3 was the most she could tolerate. So if you do have a deeper skin tone than I do, obviously just work your way up and kind of see what level is comfortable for you, because just because I say level 5 doesn't hurt me at all, it doesn't mean that it will be the same for you. So just be cautious of that. Another thing I wanted to mention is do not use this device when you are on your period or about to start your period or whatever. You are more sensitive when it is that time of the month. And if I'm still going to use a device, I have to go down 2 or 3 levels to even make it tolerable, because like I said, your body is just overly sensitive during that time and it is a lot more painful than it needs to be. So I would recommend just like waiting until you're done with your period and then you can, you know, continue to use the device. So this is kind of like a random weird tip and maybe it won't even apply to any of you guys, but when I use this thing, I get like really sweaty, and just because I'm like so tense and nervous it's gonna hurt. It normally never does. Every once in a while, like I said, it'll kind of zap me and it hurts a little bit, but for the most part, it really doesn't hurt, but I still get sweaty because I'm so freaking nervous. So what I'll do is I'll start on my armpits, because you can't have deodorant or lotion or anything on. So I'll start on my armpits and then I'll apply my deodorant and do the rest of my body. So when I'm sweating, I at least have deodorant on because I get sweaty. But yeah, so that's like a random little tip if you get sweaty like I do. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, if you have sensitive skin, I would highly recommend shaving the day before and then doing it the next day. I get really bad razor burn, and sometimes this can tend to irritate my skin, because what I'll do is I'll kind of zap it and then drag and zap it and drag, and when I'm going over my legs specifically, I'm still pulling something like against the natural growth of my hair, and it's just rubbing it and causing friction and irritation after I've already shaved and like irritated my legs a little bit. So if you do have sensitive skin or get razor burn, I would would do this the next day after you shave and not try and do it all in the same day. So one thing that's kind of weird that my device has been doing is it makes this really loud, like vibrating, rattling sound. I'm gonna insert a video here of it doing it. So it's just kind of weird. I don't really know what that's doing, but it does stop eventually, but I wait for it to stop before I use the device because I'm a little bit scared. I don't want it freaking like electrocuting me or something. But I did reach out to Kenzzi and I told them what was going on. They asked me to send a video, so I am gonna send them that video and kind of see what they say. I don't know if they're gonna like give me a whole new device or just tell me that I'm like stupid and doing something wrong. One thing I have been doing wrong is after this actually plugs into the wall, and after I'm done with my treatments, I've just been like ripping the cord out while the device is still on. Kenzzi's probably like gonna see this video and be like, she's stupid, we're not sending her a new device. But yeah, so you don't have to do that. It actually has a power button, wow. But I was pushing the power button before and it wasn't working. So what you have to do is while it's like, it kind of makes like this humming noise when it's actually on. So you hold the power button down to get it to stop humming, but then you have to hold it down again to get it to actually fully shut off to where you can unplug it. So I think that will maybe stop the like crazy rattling noise. One other thing I want to mention is, like I said, I've kind of been watching other people's reviews on this product, and people say that they can do like their entire body in like 20 minutes, and I do not understand how people are doing it that quickly. Because I do, it says that you can use it up to 3 times on the same area in like one sitting, and I go over every single area 3 times, and it probably still takes me a good like 40 minutes to do my entire body. That's just something to note. It doesn't take me the full like 2.5 hours or whatever it was in my first video. That was just me kind of like figuring out the product, but it definitely takes me a solid 40 minutes. So just to kind of clear that up, that's how long it takes me personally. So another thing that I've been doing is any areas that are kind of like too small to get a razor into, or you just like, you shaved but you missed a few hairs, so you don't want to get back in the shower. I've been using these little like straight razor, little beauty razors. I believe these are for like face shaving and stuff, but I just use this. If I like missed a few little straggly hairs, I'll just like get those basically. So I've heard that these also help prevent your hair from growing back like darker and thicker. I don't know if that's the case. So if you do have any hair that's like fairly thin and you are nervous about it growing back thicker, this could help with that. In the meantime, like while you're still working through your treatments to obviously get rid of the hair altogether. But yeah, that's a little tip I would recommend. I use this pretty much every single time before I use the Kenzzi, just because I pretty much miss a hair like every single time. So this is really great for that. And I find that it actually gets a closer shave than my normal like handheld razor. That could also help the device be a little bit more effective, because the shorter the hair, I think the more effective the device works, which is why you do have to shave before you use it. And my last tip is make sure that you're not cold while you're using this device. If you get like little goosebumps and use this, it can kind of cause irritation on your skin if you do have more sensitive skin. So I will always like turn the heat on before I do it and just make sure that I'm like nice and warm and I'm not going to get little like goosebumps all over my skin, because it just, I don't know, the rubbing up against the goosebumps like really causes a lot of irritation on my skin. So if you have sensitive skin like me, that tip might help you. But yeah, guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my update. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments down below and I'll answer every single one of them to the best of my ability. But yeah, I am so excited about the results that I've had so far, and I'm excited to update you guys again in another 4 weeks with how it's going. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you want to, and if you want to see my updates in the future using the Kenzzi, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.